I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact focused on personal growth, my Knowledge Workbook series and Creative Healing course can help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about women lose attraction to impatient men. One of the things that I have seen time and time again over the years is that women actually lose a lot of attraction to a guy that doesn't stay centered and loses emotional self-control. Now, one of the things that is very important to a relationship is emotional safety. And if somebody is volatile or explosive, or they're anxious and intense, it can really make your partner not feel safe with the other. Now, this goes for both women and men in relationships, but I think culturally men are expected to tolerate women that lose emotional self-control more often. It's kind of expected, just that women are expected to be hormonal or going through changes because of the physical changes going through their body and their cycles and things like that. So there is more pressure on men, in my opinion, to really have emotional self-control. I had a client just a couple weeks ago that would get really angry, road rage, start screaming about potholes in the road. And he would do this often, and it really bothered her, and she brought it up several times at the breakup. And I'm sure she brought it up during the relationship too. So you got to be careful, guys. You have to really do your best to stay centered and not let things bother you so much. Like one of the videos I put out a long time ago, how to be her mountain. Another one was called how to be her Superman. And you really want to be those things. It's very attractive to women. Years ago, at least a decade ago, I was standing in the line and I overheard a cashier talking to somebody about how her husband is so great because he's always so calm and so centered and never lets things get to him. And she just adored that about him. And she wasn't even talking to me. She was talking to the person in front of me. But I just always remembered how much that meant to her. The way her face lit up when she was talking about this guy and her husband, and he's so great and he's so calm, and she just adored him because it was like no matter what was going on in her world or in her life, he calmed her and he didn't make it more intense. So guys, if there's one thing that you really want to work on, it's soothing that anxiety. And I'm always telling you that. That's part of what we're saying when we're saying do the work. Learning to soothe yourself, learning to sit with uncertainty. That's what the Creative Healing course and the workbooks are going to help you do, because they're really going to teach you different ways, different things to think about, different skills, and you're going to see some examples of what not to do, especially with like the cartoons, and then you're going to really think about those things and make those changes. It's a big part of attraction. And I got an email today that's going to kind of talk about what happens if you don't stay centered. This is from a guy in his late 30s with a woman with her early 30s, and they started dating early in 2025. They don't have any kids. They've never been engaged. They didn't live together, but they did plan to. The main issues were poor communication patterns due to our respective anxieties and cyclical arguments. So right off the bat, that reminds me of the anxious avoidant trap. And so he's maybe anxious. This is just my guess because, she's complaining about his temper and losing emotional self-control. Without shouting or insulting, never in my life, to be absolutely clear. But anyway, my quick annoyance to really bothered her. Okay, so that's what I'm saying is he is getting really annoyed to things. He's short-tempered, and that's turned her off. Caused her great tension, even fear. What did I say earlier, right? if we don't feel emotionally safe with our partner, we don't feel safe with our partner. Over the top, if you ask me, and taking away her peace and security. Okay, so now that's something that avoidants often say is taking away their peace. I just want peace. I just want peace. They say that one all the time. Let me know what you think of the new microphone, by the way. I am wearing the earbuds today for the video because I wanted to see how it sounds and is coming across to you to make sure that it comes across really good to you. And so I'm adjusting, listening to through the earbuds to get the feedback. So leave a comment. Let us know if you like the upgrade. Other than that, the relationship was great. She often missed me, appreciated our intimacy, felt I cared for her, and listened to her better than anyone before. Okay, so that tells me she probably dated really avoidant guys that didn't really listen to her. And so he's doing quite a bit right here. So that's good. He's listening. He's making her feel cared about. She appreciated the intimacy. So there's a lot good here. She used to say that she wished we could make it work for the long run. She felt that with me, she finally had a chance to succeed in love. We had so many plans together. Unfortunately, she really struggled with my quick temper, impatience, and grievances towards her. So I think that when we're not patient, it has to do with not getting our needs met in our childhood. And so we don't think we're going to get what we need. And so we're irritable and explosive and we're demanding because we didn't get our needs met. And you have to work through that as an adult and not project those things onto your partner just because your parents didn't meet those needs, right? It's true. I get angry quickly. And even though I have no violent tendencies whatsoever, she feels tension, blame, and chaos because of it. That also tells me that she probably had a lot of that growing up, and now she's trying to stay away from that. I think she's avoidant, and of course it would be great if she worked on these issues herself. Hopefully she does, but the pressure's on you because she's the one that walked away. And if you do it more, it's just going to make her lose attraction, and you're the one that's trying to reattract her. It is true that due to relationship anxieties, I quickly dramatize situations and get too angry. All right, so there's his anxiety. He puts his little tiara on, becomes a drama queen. Can't do that, guys. It's very unattractive. Is it fair? No, it's not fair that women are, quote unquote, allowed to do it and men are not. But that's just one of the things that is going to turn someone off if you do it. So either you fix it or you keep doing it and keep getting dumped. Up to you. And yet, in my opinion, she was too sensitive and too emotional tension. And she had her own flaws, although I understand her better now. The last argument was enough for me. She broke up with me and immediately ghosted me. Oof, that's awful. I waited a week in silence and then texted, expressing sadness about being ghosted without a talk. She ignored it completely. I think she was fed up. I think she had probably said to you a handful of times that she doesn't like it. And I'm guessing about the handful of times. She may have told him every day. I don't know. But I'm guessing she probably said it at least a handful of times. And because you continue to do it, she's like, that's it. This is never going to change. It's never going to change, okay? I'm so tired of this. I just want peace. I texted again a few days later. Okay, so we double texted, saying it was a pity she made her decision of ghosting me, but I wouldn't bother her anymore. She then replied she was very sorry, disappointed in me, and her hope for the relationship. Ooh, that's hurtful. It hurts to hear that. You're disappointed in me. I replied, understanding her, and apologized for everything that hurt her. Then I went no contact. She just replied, I appreciate that, thank you, and disappeared completely. We parted calmly and with respect. She seemed indifferent, fully reconciled with the situation. Yeah, because in her mind, it's never gonna change. I keep telling you. Can you hear it? You can hear it, right? You could almost hear that argument. I've heard it so often. A few weeks passed. She hasn't texted or even viewed my Facebook stories. I'm sticking to no contact. I don't ask friends about her, and I don't post dramatic content on Facebook. Everything has gone completely silent. I have focused on understanding the reasons why I get so angry quickly at loved ones and put them in dramatic situations where they feel anxious and helpless. Ooh, helpless is a big word. That makes me feel like it's really intense if you're making people feel helpless. It seems she has accepted the loss and calmly moved on. Well, at this point, that's probably how she is feeling about it. But you did do a lot good here, so I want to give you props for that. You said there were a lot of good things and that you were the first guy that made her feel like she had a chance with love and that, you listened to her all the time. However, you got to work on your emotional self-control. And I get a feeling that you don't realize how much your behavior is impacting other people. I get a feeling that for you, because you're so caught up in the moment, that you're not realizing what it's like to be in their shoes. And you got to work through that, because I do think she's going to consider the good here. But in a situation like this, she's going to look at you and she's going to test you because she doesn't think you're going to change. All right. So if you don't really work on those things, like getting into therapy or doing the creative healing course, she's not likely going to stick around. She may come back around again and even, stay with you for a few months. But, what happens with you guys is that you're good for about 3 or 4 months, and then you slip up and go back to old ways. Now, many of you don't even make it to 3 or 4 months. I'll be honest with you. A lot of you guys, all it takes is somebody to say 1 or 2 things, and you lose so much emotional self-control that you blow up. So you might not even make it that far. You got to do the work, because now she does have her issues. I'm not going to say that she doesn't have issues and it's not on her to fix some of those issues. But right now, you don't have that kind of leverage to the situation. You're the one that wants to fix it. You're the one that needs to be able to show her that you will be more calm and not blow up like the way you have, not her. Now, if you want to discuss things as you are starting to repair this and, bring up your other issues as well, with her as well, you can do that. But you're not going to do that for a while until you can show her that you're not going to blow up like the way that you used to, and that you're serious about change and growth. Don't go reaching out after 3 weeks to tell her you've grown and you've changed, because you haven't. I hear about that all the time on my calls where you guys have tried it and it doesn't work. So don't do it like that. Really focus on the work. Allow her to come back, and let's see what you can do to break this pattern. I wouldn't be surprised at all if you hear from her, but it may take some time. So that's great because it gives you more time to do the work. Now, if you want to get my help personally, you can do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coachings and I do Zoom calls. You could also check out the creative healing course or the workbooks there. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.